So moving on, Jackie, you know, we go to some of the rules changes that they have each and every year. Everybody's intrigued about what the NFL, what new rule changes they're going to have this year. One of the rule changes they're considering is eliminating the rugby scrum quarterback sneak, where they come in and they get down there and they stockpile and they do the pile drive forward. Jackie, how do you regulate a play like that, and are you in favor of that?
First of all, you know, everybody is entitled to run that play.
Yeah.
Everybody has some form of that play in their office, be it putting your head down as a quarterback and just surging forward, or stepping over to a vacated spot in the defensive line and surging forward there. Everybody has that play. It's just that the Philadelphia Eagles run that play behind a group of guys that averages 324 pounds.
How much does Chris Jones weigh, Jackie? I mean, he leaped over
he's
that.
He's at least 320. And he jumped up. Did you see this? He looked like a sheet of ice on a flowing river. They just moved him right along.
It was like no problem.
But here's what the rule says, Vince. The rule says that you can push a player forward to gain ground,
right?
But you can't pull a player forward.
Right.
You can push the quarterback forward, which is what Philadelphia was doing, but you can't pull him forward. And that's a clear and a very simple rule. And it should be a rule that each and every team is able to harness that rule, play within that rule, and then gain that advantage. Why should it just be the Philadelphia Eagles that have perfected it? Everybody has the opportunity to perfect that. I don't think it should be messed with. I don't think it should be changed. I think it's a strategic part of the game that you can build your team to be able to do that with consistency, just like the Philadelphia Eagles did. How many first downs did they?
Wouldn't you rather run the scrum quarterback sneak than try to leap over like Huntley tried to do in the game, and the guy knocked the ball
and went all the way the other way,
and he went 99 yards for a touchdown.
Yes, I would.
So I'd rather go the scrum. Stay down.
Go to scrum. And in my opinion, I think the people on the rules committee, and I know the rules committee, they're always looking at player safety and all that. I like to think that that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But there's no player safety issues associated with this. This is clearly a strategic positive for teams who are capable of executing this play. So why mess with it? I think you leave it alone.
Yeah, well, I think so too, because quarterback sneak has been in the NFL traditionally from day one.
From day one.
Because I remember Bart Starr running the quarterback sneak in the Ice Bowl, coming over, talking it over with Vince Lombardi on the sideline. Hey, I can make this, coach. Okay, let's run it. Let's go. And he ran that to beat Dallas.
Yes, I do.
To go to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And but anyway, Jackie, you got some of these players that they have high aspirations when they leave the game of football, and they want to do other things.
Yes.
Maybe in film and theatrics.
Yes, and I like the way you so smoothly brought that subject.
So what do you think?
I like the way you brought this.
We got our boy Travis Kelce.
Listen, I like the way you brought that up.
All right.
You being a matinee idol and what was they calling you? Pretty boy and all that. As a quarterback, you got that all the time. We were the big uglies. Okay, I can live with the big uglies. Okay.
Yeah.
But
wait a minute. Didn't we have an award? We had an award with the Rams.
Yeah.
The UGMO contest.
Yeah. Well, we did.
But you never won that.
I never won the UGMO contest.
You weren't even in the running. You weren't even in the ballot.
Well, you had Lawrence McCutcheon. Lawrence McCutcheon was the grand national champion. He was the grand national. That's what they told me when I got there. He was the reigning grand national champion.
Hey, Clutch, man. I didn't say that. Jackie said that.
I'm just going, but I got there late. I mean, I didn't say that either, Clutch. That's what everybody else said. They said that Lawrence McCutcheon was the grand national champion.
He's a grand marshal.
Clutch, he was a good sport. He was a good sport.
He's the only one to throw a touchdown pass in a Super Bowl for the LA Rams.
I know. He threw it to Ron Smith.
He did. That was a nice pass.
But the reason why you brought that up, in addition to wanting to talk about all of your opportunities that you had in Hollywood, because you remember, a lot of people don't remember this, but at one point in time, Carol Rosenblum, the owner of the Rams, he owned was it Fox?
Yeah.
Who was it that he owned?
Well,
he owned one of the studios.
The studios, yeah.
He owned
Century
one of the
21.
studios, and he was very well
Century
connected.
Fox.
He was very well connected. I remember going to Rams parties that we had.
Well, we were in Hollywood, Jack.
Yeah.
So
I remember going to our parties, our team parties, and there were different actors there that showed up, and we had a good time.
Even in the locker room, Jack.
Yeah.
Before the game, Roberto Montalban, remember, he used to come in there. And then the comedians used to come in there.
Absolutely, yeah. Don Rickles used to come around all the time. And so I think that was how Fred Dreyer, with his Hunter series, got his career jumped off. He was a very successful actor. I thought you would have been a very successful actor.
Hey, I acted in a few plays.
You did do a few.
Yeah, I did a few.
What were some of the things you did?
I did Dynasty. Remember John Forsythe?
Yes.
I was the quarterback in Dynasty.
I do remember that.
I played, I was just a cameo role in Police Women's Centerfold.
Police Women's Centerfold?
Yeah, well, that's the name of the movie.
It
was a police movie. But then I played in Hawaii Five-0. That was a lot of fun. I got a trip to Hawaii. That was a good time, Jackie.
Yeah.
Hey, remember Eric Estrada in the Chips?
Yes,
I even get some of my residuals. My residuals maybe make about 50 cents or 75 cents.
Is that all?
Hey, but the best one was the Tonight Show with David Letterman. That was a cool deal.
Well, I got to tell you, I did have one role.
What was it?
I had one role. Everybody said, "Hey, Jackie, they need some heavies down there, so you could go over to the studio."
Did you have a gun?
They sent me to the studio. No, I didn't have a gun. I think I had a head rag. I had to tie onto my head, and I had to wear this tattered old gray shirt and all. Yeah. But my role was simply, you remember Rooster Carlburn, when they had the big hats?
Yeah.
They had the big
Country
hats.
Western.
No, yeah, they were country western guys, but they were like detectives.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, Rooster was a little bitty guy, like about that tall. So my job was to stand there, and then when he came out, me and another big guy, we grabbed him by the biceps and we lifted him off the floor. Oh, yeah. And my key line was, "Where do you think you're going?"
That was an easy line for you to learn.
So I put him back down after he told me, and that was the end of it. But I got residual. I think I got like 50 cent residual 20 years later or something like that.
Exactly.
But it was cool to have those opportunities playing in Los Angeles. And it was a special time, wasn't it?
Yeah. So how do you think Tracy Kelce is going to do? Travis Kelce.
Well, he's going
to
be
for a Monday Night Live. I mean,
Saturday Night Live. He's going to be the host. Travis Kelce is going to be the host of Saturday Night Live. And you know what? When you look at some of the guest hosts that they've had do that show, I think Travis Kelce is going to do as well, if not better than anybody. And why do I say that, Vince? Because he's got the nerve to get on the edge on national TV and make statements and say things that's coming from his heart. And that I think that's a very rare and unique quality to compose yourself or not be composed and still stay within the constraints of what is considered acceptable. Yeah. And he does a fantastic job doing that. I can't wait to see him when he does that show.
Well, before we go to the Illustrator board, Jackie, which we like to do every
because we got these questions.
We have these questions. But let's talk just briefly. There's been so much scuttlebutt about what's happening with Aaron Rodgers. We don't know either what's happening with him. But what do you think's going to happen? I mean, this guy here, as we talked about, he pretty much can name his ticket anywhere he wants to go. But the Packers, maybe he wants to stay and finish out with Green Bay and make it one last hurrah. I don't know, but I think of all the teams, Jackie, my hunch is that he'll probably end up with the Raiders. He said he doesn't want to go to San Francisco, but if he goes with the Raiders, I think Devontae Adams is calling for him. I mean, I know those two can put up some numbers, and I think with Chase McDaniels, with that offense, if they have a good draft this year, I think they're just a quarterback away. They let Carr go, so Derek's gone, and so now they got to fill that spot, Jackie, and I think they got to go with a player like that. That could put them over make the difference.
Well, these are my thoughts.
Because that'll put them right in the discussion for playoffs.
These are my thoughts. There are a couple of teams out there that are in need of a unique talent at the quarterback position, and we're not going to kid ourselves. Aaron Rodgers is a unique talent at that position. I saw him make some throws that you don't see everybody doing with the consistency in which he does that. But this is the problem that I have a little bit with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron obviously wanted to be paid like his performance has mandated, and I'm thinking somewhere near the $50 million a year range now is what his contract calls for. I'm not sure about that, but I think it's close to that. And it seems like each and every year over the last couple of years now, even before Devontae left there, it was whether or not he was going to stay, whether or not he was going to remain. And to me, at some point in time, you realize that an organization has made a commitment to you financially, which is what you want to see as a player first of all. They've made that commitment to you, and now it's your turn to make that commitment to them. Your turn is to stay and help build the roster around you, add pieces that you think you needed. Not just, hey, you got the money, you've been paid, so why you want to run off? Why you want to look for better opportunity? The best opportunity he has, in my opinion, is to stay there in Green Bay, have them get some more people, trade for him, draft him, whatever you need to do, have him be a part of the player selection if need be, so that he stays there and he gives those people in Green Bay what they want, which is Aaron Rodgers playing his best football. I have a problem with a guy getting paid already.
Old school.
Been paid already, and then he wants to go.
Yeah,
I mean, if he's having problems getting paid, then go. Then look for a way out. But if they're going to treat you like the king and pay you like the king, then you stay there as a guy that's a part of that team, and you help them construct that team into a winner. You find yourself another Devontae Adams. That's what I think I would do if I were a quarterback.
Well, that's why to go to the drawing board, Jackie. They got to figure these things out. This is tough to figure out.
It really is.
And, when you got a player of that caliber, he can be successful, but he has to have the mindset. He has to want to do it. And if he's going to stay, then, hey, consider a pay cut, get some talent in there, win a championship. Right. Leave on a good note.
And if you want to remain the highest paid quarterback with the salary that he has, then what you do is you figure out how to make it work with the talent that they bring in there.
Right.
And you ought to be able to do that. You ought to be able to look at a guy. Can't you look at a guy and say, hey, he runs this route well, he runs that route well.
Oh, sure.
Let's put him in that position to do what he does well. Yeah. As a quarterback, can't you do that with an offensive coordinator?
Heck yeah.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, you have those discussions in the offseason, Jackie, and that's what happened with Jalen Hurts last year. They sat down with him, with Nick Sirianni, and they orchestrated an offensive game plan suited to what he likes to do and what he's good at, and that's what the result was, Super Bowl game. Okay,
and put up numbers that no other quarterback in the history of the Super Bowl has ever put up.
You got to put the work in to get the results, Jackie. Now, hey, Jackie, let's go to this Illustrator board, and you have to tell the folks at home, you're such a big advocate of running the football, and so am I. You have to be balanced in all different areas, but you have to diagram your favorite play and why you like the running game, why it's so important, and what running plays do you favor, and why they are so successful in the NFL.
The thing that tickles me, Vince, about this question is that this question came from a young man in Topeka, Kansas.
Okay.
And this young man is an offensive lineman, and he says that he appreciates all the coverage we give to the receivers and the quarterbacks and everything. He said, but I'm an offensive lineman. He said, and I take a lot of pride in this particular area of play. Mm-hmm. So, Jackie, what I want to know is, everybody that I'm having to deal with for the most part now are wanting to rush the passer. He said, why is that so? Why are we not seeing more run game? And then what is your favorite play that you like to run to take advantage of all these pass rushes and the defenses that we're seeing now?
Great point.
And I thought that was a fantastic question coming from Topeka, Kansas.
So you got to, here's a pin.
And what I'm going to do, I think his name was Jay or Jarrett. What I want to do, Jarrett, I want to show you one of my favorite plays. And the reason why I like this particular play is because you've heard me say this over and over again. There's nothing like beating the pass rush right on out of a good pass rush.
You've heard that many times.
And you do it with certain plays. And the coaches that I had, I was very fortunate in that they served up this particular play all the time.
All right.
And it's called power. I'll show it to you.
Power. Okay. Want me to stand on that side?
Yeah. Get us opened up here, Vince.
Okay. There you go. Oh, look,
you
got it already.
Yeah, I didn't want to waste any time, so I already drew up the front. Now, as you can see here, this is an under defense. And the reason why we call it an under defense is because the strength of the formation is to the right. There's the tight end sitting there. There's 21 personnel. But the defensive line, if you notice, are shifted to the left. So this is an under defense. If the defense was shifted to the right, we would call it an over defense.
So it doesn't matter where we put this extra receiver, Jack. We put it here or over there. So let's put him right here.
Yeah, you can put them wherever you want to put them.
So we have a tray formation.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Now this is the play. What we're going to do here is we want to pull this backside guard and we want to insert him into the hole here on that middle linebacker. But what we really want to have happen is we want to get a double team at the point of attack. If this front was bumped over that way, it would be the guard and the tackle double teaming, a 3 technique sitting here. But because the front is bumped away, now it's going to be the tackle and the tight end. The thing about this play right here is it gives an offensive tackle an opportunity to really sell one thing to him and do another one. So with this guy sitting right there, if I'm an offensive tackle, I'm not going to step to him with the tight end. I'm going to make a slight step away from him. Now, what that step tells him is that the ball has been run over here. And so he's got to come over the top. And when I make that step and he does this, boom, my job is to capture his momentum and take him that way with the tight end going here. And our job on this double team is to watch this defensive end down in here and then to get this weak side backer coming over the top. Now, what we're going to do right here on the front side is we're going to take a fullback and we're going to let him do what he does best. He's going to put this Sam linebacker on his outside shoulder, kicking him out, creating a little chasm right there for this back to insert. And then this is the beautiful part. This is the beautiful part right here. This tackle's going to step hinge, help this guy, make sure he doesn't come vertical. If he goes toward the center, he's going to that block, and then he's going to come back on that defensive end. This guard here is going to wrap. He's going to negotiate this double team on his way to this backer right here. And what happens is, if that backer runs through, the tackle will come off and the tight end will stay, and we'll get the double team right there. So what we want to do is get movement there, a kick there, wrap this guard, and just motor this football right up in there. Now, what that does is it takes this guy right here and it beats the teeth right out of the front of his mouth. He wants nothing to do with this double team block. Even if it was here, he wants nothing. The defensive tackle wouldn't want anything to do with it. And what it does is it softens. It does 2 things, actually, Vince. It moves this guy off the ball, but it gives him a read that confuses him. The minute you step inside, he thinks the ball is going over here.
Exactly.
And when he starts biting to get over there, you take him down. So it puts him in a quandary. The reason why I like this play is because these guys get hit in the teeth. They get physically beat up by 2 guys at the point of attack. And as I said, it could be the guard and tackle, whoever. And this inserts the ball in the air. This guard can clean up anything that's in there in the way. On his way to that back, to this backer right here, that backer comes over the top. The double team's going to come off and get him. And if nothing is clear, this offensive guard can get a piece of whatever color is showing and motor up in there, and you're still going to get 3 to 4 yards. That is a power play to the tight end, basic 21 personnel, and it gives you an opportunity to beat guys up front. And that's what good offensive linemen really want to do.
So what you say is a power is a double team block and a kick out with the back.
Absolutely.
So you had the quarterback under center. So I was mistaken over here because you just have the T formation where you hand off 2 backs. So it's old school football, actually. And the reason why Jackie mentioned under to start this, when the quarterback looks at this defense, you really don't want to run towards the underside because they're moved. What under means they took this tackle and they moved him over the head of the center. So they're straight now to the weak side.
Absolutely.
Over, they would just move this tackle over here and be over on the strength side.
Absolutely.
So, but good play, Jackie, and that just gets your guys moving off the ball, and you said that gives them feeling like
primarily it beats the pass rush right out of
right.
It's simple as that, Vince. Right. So Vince, now I understand that one of the things that the other question that we got, I think it came from Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
The kid from Minnesota called in, and he was asking you, Vince, when we walk to the line of scrimmage and the quarterback is saying, Mike 57 or Mike 58, Mike 59, what is he saying to you, and how are you making decisions about what you're going to do with the ball on a passing down?
Okay, well, let's show everybody. Let's go to the next. There we are. I'll switch places with you. Okay. So here we have when the quarterback first walks to the line of scrimmage, his basic attention is predicated on in the box, is what they have in the box. So we would always just say it's over front. This would be 4-2 front. Mm-hmm. So you have 4 down linemen here and 2 backers here. Here's a nickel player in the back. We're in a spread formation, XYZ with the H. So 2 receivers on each side. and we're in a shotgun formation. So as we looking to throw the football, the first concern for any quarterback is pass protection. So what he's going to look is the front. He's going to say, okay, how do I block this according to what I called in the huddle? So everybody knows. In this situation, the back is on the right side. So he's eyeing this backer, okay? Now, you have one-on-one blocking here, okay? So the quarterback has to signal the uncovered lineman, in this case is the center. He has to tell him a direction of where to block. And they're saying 57 left, Mike 57 left, LL. So now he's looking at this guy and he's saying if he should come, then these guys will block these three. So they're all blocked.
So Vince,
okay?
you actually get a double team on this guy initially if he comes in the A gap, in the B gap. If he comes all the way out here, can't these three guys adjust and go all the way out there to him?
That's possible, Jackie, but as you know, that might be coming late, and so the uncovered lineman may have to come out and get him late because he's going to have to entertain this guy. That's his number one block. And plus he's in the outside. Now, when that happens and he comes over here, Jackie, now running quarterbacks all of a sudden see a lane. Now, if this is cover two, and the other thing you're looking at is the coverage. So quarterbacks are looking at quite a few different things because as a quarterback, the coverage will dictate where you're going to throw the football. If it's two zone, if this is a zone, which looks like a zone coverage, cover two means 1-2. These two guys are up front. So now we have in routes. We can do certain vertical stretches on the outside to entertain, put a player in a bind. And so in this case, but the protection's number one. If I have to throw hot, if you have a nickel blitz and he comes late to man-to-man coverage here, well, then there's got to be a side adjustment for this guy. He has to block out or come inside because he's gone too. So you'd have to throw the ball. But that's a case where you're going to have everybody. If it's just a nickel zone blitz, then the uncovered lineman, theoretically, Jackie, can come here. Now I can tell this back. If I think he's going to come, I could say, hey, left, left, left. Strong safety left. He might come on over here and he might be ready to block him if he's not involved in the pass route. But we could have this guy run an option route. I mean, there's a lot of different routes we can run, but primarily it's a good question, Jackie. You have to have the formation has to be foremost in the mind of the quarterback, in formation and protection.
That's interesting, Vince.
Anyway, that's how we do it.
That's pretty cool.
And we can go back here.
Okay.
Or we can go there, maybe?
Yeah. And then touch right there, and we're
right
back.
And we're
good
back.
job, Benny.
Okay, man. Good job, Jackie. Well, it's a good
you
question.
You cleared it up a little bit. I hope you guys. I
Might
hope
be a
you
little
guys
too
that called
confusing.
in. I hope you guys that called in got a little bit of insight from us there. I know.
Yeah.
I know that I enjoyed the running play that I just drew up, and most of the guys that I played with really enjoyed that play when it really mattered. In short yardage and goal line situations, that was the play that we wanted called because it featured double teams at the point of attack, and then you inserted a backside pulling offensive lineman. So it was like three 300-pound guys inserting in two gaps. Yeah. So it gave you a lot of surge right up through that. Kind of like what they do with that mush rush and that short yardage situation in Philadelphia.
Right. That little quarterback scrum and
absolutely
push from behind. But Jackie, it's always nice to share these kind of thoughts with all of our viewers, especially when they call in and ask us questions. And you always have something to say to our viewers at home. If you have any comments, please comment. You can email us at onpoint@manhattanbeachstudios.net.
Absolutely.
And then pick up the phone, give us a call, email us. We'd be glad to answer your
questions.
Give us a
thumbs up.
That would be awesome.
You know, our subscribers are going up, so there are a lot of people watching us. And Vince, you and I are talking about this on the way in. We did this a long time, and it's been a long time since we did it, and we still enjoy this game.
Yeah.
This is the best game in our country. I don't think there's any other sport that is more appreciated by the fans in general than football.
They can't get enough sometimes.
Can't get enough of pro football.
We have XFL, we have USFL coming up in the offseason.
Yeah, more
Jackie,
football coming up. More football coming up. And we may be visiting with some people. I've spoken with a couple of general managers. I've spoken with a couple of PR people about their teams. And, I have an old friend, Andy Beck, who is the head coach of the St. Louis franchise right now, who just won a thrilling game
22-20, huh, Jackie?
Unbelievable game, and they were trailing with just a few minutes to go in the game, and they orchestrated a come from behind win. So football is a great game, and it's hard not to appreciate the people that are doing it and doing it well. So we're going to be bringing you more insights about the game that we love and interacting with you about a lot of other things. There were a lot of people who talked to me, Vince, who wanted to get into a lot of deep conversation about the equity associated with moving the enemy from that job and how much it may have had to do with him being an African American and all of that. And there may be something to that, but certainly these are the type of things that you and I are committed to talking about, and we're going to talk about them. So we appreciate you guys calling in. We appreciate you joining us. We hope that you realize our passion that we have for this and that you'll be along for the journey. We're looking forward to it.
So for Jackie Slater, I'm Vince Ferragamo, and all of us here at the Manhattan Beach Studios want to thank you for watching, and continue to watch us each and every week on On Point Live with Vince and Jackie. So stay on point.